Hello everyone. So I'm actually going to upload 2 videos today. So the first one, I still can't find the one that I was looking for originally. But holy crap. When I saw the title of this, I was mortified. Absolutely mortified. Let's see if I can find it again. I have to pause for a sec while I do, because I lost it. Okay, found it. Here we go. Now I'm going to just pause for a brief moment.
What's up?
Put it on full screen, because I have a lot to say about this. And oh, shoot. First, speed. I can find it. Makes you a lot more tolerable, Fwankie. And there's that. Full screen. Here we go.
What's up? How are you guys today? The gluten intolerance movement seems to have graduated to an anti-carbohydrate movement, so I might be...
No, not necessarily. But yes, for people who are very, very carb sensitive, carbs are never going to be an option for them. And for people who are not, like who can tolerate them a little bit better, taking out gluten might not help everything, because what happens, Fwankie, is fiber intolerance. It's a fiber intolerance. Okay, yeah. So now I'll be right back. I'm gonna pause again for a moment. I'm gonna turn my heat off. But yeah, Fwankie, I think what you're failing to remember is that gluten is not actually taking out the gluten isn't going to help, because gluten rips up your gut unless you think it's the fat. Oh, okay, cool.
A little bit behind on this. Apparently, getting people to go gluten-free, follow paleo diets, wasn't enough to fix their health. So the dietary douche...
Exactly. And no, they're not dinks, for lack of a better word. I don't like that other word.
Bags in charge of the media are now saying, oh, it's a carbohydrate issue.
Why were you carnivore for 8 years then? There must have been something to it. Carbs all day long.
What's the real problem? Problem being obesity, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, all of these degenerative diseases that are so mysterious we don't know how to fix them.
What about all the accounts of people who have eaten low carb, carnivore, and fixed their MS, fixed their Alzheimer's, early Alzheimer's, fixed their diabetes type 2? People who are slowly going low carb and fixing the amount, like the blood sugars that they were dealing with with their type 1, and then they don't have to take as much insulin. What about those people, Fwankie? Are you going to just leave them and throw them under the bus too? Oh no, you want them taking all of that insulin, all of that crap, and you want the people with MS to suffer. Okay, cool.
It's really the agrochemicals, the herbicides, pesticides.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It is not just that. You're forgetting something, Fwankie. You're forgetting something called allergies. Allergies. Do you know what an allergy is, Fwankie? I'm sure you have a lot of them.
Pesticides, fungicides, insecticides, antibiotic residue, synthetic.
It could play part of a role, but then how come some people respond really badly and some people don't? I don't. I don't respond really badly, but here's why I cut it out. Inflammation, like there's such a thing as inflammation too. It made me gain 10 pounds. It made me look much healthier than I was. When I cut the gluten and all those carbs out, in particular, I felt awful, awful, awful. But here's why. I lost a bunch of inflammation. Now, if I eat carbs, it's only a certain amount, and I don't have that problem anymore. If I do go carnivore, I won't lose all that inflammation anymore because I don't have enough inflammation to really make a difference. Okay? But yeah, anyway.
Hormones, all of these poisons plaguing our food and water supply.
It's not no. Just, that's not all it is. Because some people respond even in Europe, where a lot of that crap is banned. There's a lot of crap banned in Europe. Can't wait to move to Europe, by the way, because I'll be moving and I'll be living with my boyfriend and we'll be living a happy life together. And I'm very sure that gluten is still a problem for people in Europe as well.
Yeah, standard American dieters do consume large amounts of gluten in the form of processed wheat, but that's like singling out saturated fat as a problem in meat, and we all know how that went. It was a big lie that has cost a lot of people.
Oh, really? Oh, really? No, I think you think it's fat deep down. And the fat traps toxins, so you gotta take the fat out too, baby. Shut up, why don't you? Egotistical piece of shite.
People their health. And the big thing they don't mention is when you consume gluten, it's typically also in the presence of refined sugar, vegetable seed oils, very inflammatory.
Yes, true. I'm not going to argue with that, but at the same time, gluten can be a problem. Look up what gluten does in the gut. It rips your gut lining up. Look it up, Frank. Ugh.
Things as well as chemicals.
I think that's why I still have a lot of bowel problems to this day. They're better, but I still have some pains and stuff.
And preservatives added to what is essentially junk food disguised as a dietary staple.
I'm not going to argue either that junk food, preservatives, and all that crap is part of the problem, but gluten was, and I'm sure was always a problem. It's just, it is starting to become more of a problem because people are being born malnourished every day from what? A 90% plant-based diet. A 70% plant-based diet. No one is being born on a 90% carnivore diet. 99% carnivore diet.
So instead of telling the truth and explaining what is exactly wrong with the food, they want to keep as much money.
Guess what? I'm sure there are 20... I'm sure there are thousands of people that have said, hey, no matter what I do, I've tried organic, I've tried, free of preservative stuff. I'm allergic to all of it. I'm sure there are people out there like that, Fwankie. But you don't care about that, do you? No, you're too egotistical.
In their pockets as possible. As these nutritionists, dietary gurus, like leaders in the space, figure things out, those truths end up being suppressed until the mainstream.
I can't believe the last time when he was carnivore, he had this same attitude. I can't believe he's completely the other way. Holy crap.
Is able to provide their own alternative products.
You complain about how gluten is so good and we shouldn't be cutting it out. And you complain about how, keto will kill you, blah, blah, blah. Yet you take all of this shite that, one of them is for when you OD on a, opiate or something. And B, you take a bunch of crap that could end up making you puke. Like, all the acidity in it and... You're so stupid.
A good example of this is the keto diet being...
Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. You have no place to talk about keto. No place. None. Because you never did it right. Never. And you can say, oh, but yes I did. I did high fat, blah, 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 blah. No, you weren't doing it right. Here's why. Not enough electrolytes. Probably not enough fat for you. And probably not enough food in general. And maybe you didn't watch your cooking oils in the beginning either.
Being touted as super dangerous for years and years and years, maybe even dozens of years, but suddenly,
You have no place to talk about keto. I will say that. None. We don't want you anymore.
now there's celebrities and mainstream news articles about keto, and hey, keto's good now. Hey, buy our products, buy our...
They're never saying that. They never say that. They want you eating the diet you're promoting, Fwankie. They don't want you eating keto. You kidding? What planet are you on? Because I'm on Earth.
keto bullshit bars that we can't sell. The more people that are...
Keto bullcrap bars are not even keto. You imbecile.
kept sick, unhealthy, poisoned.
Not everybody who eats keto bullcrap bars. I never ate keto bullcrap bars. I ate meat, veggies, and cheese. That was my keto diet. Maybe a few berries and stuff.
The more power they have. If you understand this, you become skeptical of anything, you start doing your own research.
So are you saying you're skeptical of your own diet now too, Fwankie? Interesting.
And you ultimately figure out that the majority of these big dietary trends, such as gluten-free, are small truths.
I tried every other diet, Fwankie. You know what ended up happening? I never fixed my anemia. What fixed it was a carnivore diet. Keto carnivore. Ketovore. Hypercarnivore. Yep. Try again, pal.
Truths in a web of lies. And one thing I've seen as that mainstream BS solution to this is, just consume glycine powder. That's great. They're shilling their supplements that they want to sell instead of telling you what you actually need to do. So I dug up 4 studies here that help us explain
You eat tons of supplements. What are you talking about, you hypocrite?
why certain things are being said in the mainstream and how they're actually wrong. No effects of gluten in patients with self-reported non-celiac gluten sensitivity.
Non-celiac. Keyword. But it doesn't mean that gluten is helping them. Does it? Does it? It wrecks their gut in other ways. I break out. Badly. Badly. I get huge TMI, but pustules on my face. Huge. Horrible. Okay? Horrible. Awful. They look horrendous.
After dietary reduction of fermentable, poorly absorbed short-chain carbohydrates. The study says, in a placebo-controlled crossover rechallenge study, we found no evidence of specific or dose
What website is this? Can someone tell me?
dependent effects of gluten in patients with non-celiac gluten sensitivity placed on a diet low in FODMAPs. So the study showed that a high gluten diet was just as inflammatory as a high whey protein diet. Seems like 2 fairly different foods, huh?
Yeah, well, whey is not the same. It's still not the same as gluten. Doesn't mean anything. But whey can be inflammatory for some people, yes. Does it mean we should be still eating whey? If people are that sensitive to it, no. The answer is no, imbecile.
So the conventional gluten, as well as conventional whey, both have some significant inflammatory...
Conventional whey? I suppose if you mean the stuff that's like made into powder, yeah. But if you mean like cheese, try again.
factors to them, whether it's being sprayed with large amounts of agrochemicals.
But I mean, for some people, I'm pretty sure conventional cheese could be inflammatory a little bit. But I know they lose weight in the beginning. I've heard of that.
Grown with poor quality water, GMO stuff.
Again, I'm not going to argue about the poor quality water, but I can't get behind this, Fwankie. I can't.
Or in reality, people's digestive systems are so messed up from all of this stuff that they have a lot of food intolerances.
Not going to argue with that, but that's not the only reason. Some people just look in the wild. Okay, take the keto thing out of the equation. In the wild, in the wilderness, when we lived out there, we only ate grain as a last resort. Grain was a food that kept us from starving to death. You know what we ate most other times? Lots of fatty meat and maybe a little bit of vegetation. We didn't like to have to dig and forage and stuff if we didn't have to. Grains are seeds. What does an animal do when you try to just come up and eat it, and if it's alive? What does it do, Fwankie? What does it do? It tries to run away. And maybe it'll succeed, and you have to play a game of chase with it. What does a plant do? It has its own chemicals as well. Fwankie. It has its own chemicals. And the healthier the soil, the more potent those chemicals are. Not to say that soil's healthy nowadays, but a plant eating soil or using the soil in very healthy soil, those plants could be even more potent. And the seeds in particular, they're the babies of the plant. Now, the plants don't have similar defenses to animals. So what do? They produce chemicals. And what do those chemicals do? They have to get out in some way. Like, I think I get it now, Fwankie. So what if we gave you some nightshade, what are those mushrooms are they nightshade? There's a nightshade that I'm thinking of that if you eat it, you literally die. So, Fwankie, why do you die from those? You could literally die because they shut your organs down and stuff. But yet, you're telling us to eat those in small amounts? Eat those chemicals that can literally shut down your organs? You're telling us to eat those in small amounts and at a micro level shut down your organs? Good luck with your liver, Fwankie, because it's not going to last.
People are poisoned to the point of candida, gut dysbiosis.
No, candida feeds on sugar. And the more sugar you eat, the more it's fed, the more it grows. Shut up.
Microbiome imbalance, very, very poor health. So the next study is observations on the effect of glyphosate-based herbicides.
Where are you getting these from?
On ultrastructure, SEM, and enzymatic activity in different regions of alimentary canal and gill of Channa punctatus.
Do you even understand any of this? Because I don't.
Which is, for lack of better terminology, a really ugly fish. And
what? Fish is not even remotely the same as ruminant meat, you imbecile.
And I would read the excerpt here, but it's so much science gibberish and nonsense. The point is, the entire breathing and digestive system of the fish was destroyed using glyphosate.
It's a fish. But still, that doesn't justify us eating the other stuff. I'm sure the fish would die from consuming a gluten-like substance, something with gluten in it. I'm sure the fish would die from that too.
The same glyphosate that is being sprayed on the bread and food people are eating. This destruction of the digestive system is similar to the symptoms complained about by celiac patients.
I'm still certain gluten is part of it. Because guess what else is sprayed with it? Your veggies. the corn, the rice, all that other stuff. Your veggies too, your potatoes. The world's a cruel place, Fwankie.
As well as gluten intolerant people. Glyphosate prevents the liver from utilizing vitamins or detoxing and can completely wipe out the good bacteria in your gut. And if you want to see how bad glyphosate is, it basically...
Yeah, but you know what doesn't help the bacteria in the gut either? A bunch of fiber. It really, really doesn't. You've heard of people going carnivore and then having the diarrhea, right? For 2 weeks. I had it for 2 days. I was lucky. And it wasn't even that bad because I was already keto. So it would hit it in spurts.
just like literally caustically burns and destroys cells throughout the stomach. It's really...
What do you think gluten does? Gluten's no different.
Really bad. I mean, can it be compared to drinking bleach? Probably. Yeah, I mean, I'll read a little bit of that for you guys. Severe damage, shrinkage, and degeneration of pentagonal cellular contour of stratified epithelial cells. Shrinkage of SEC resulting in the degeneration of micro ridges. Slight necrosis and distorted SEC was...
This isn't even your job, Fwankie. Trying to educate people on nutrition. This isn't your job. This is not your job at all. Your job is to just sell food. You don't have a job beyond that. You can't educate anybody. You have no place in this space.
Was observed in the esophagus. Severe mucus secretion was observed in the stomach. Erosion on the apical surface of mucosal folds and columnar epithelial cells, and necrosis of CEC was also noticed. Obliteration of CEC along its entire length from basement membrane was observed in the intestinal portion. I mean, it's completely obliterates everything in the digestive system.
I'm not going to argue with that. Again, I'm not going to argue with that, but doesn't justify eating gluten.
So then we have long-term gluten consumption in adults without celiac disease and risk of coronary heart disease.
Look at the Egyptians. I'm sure they didn't have glyphosate sprayed all over everything.
Long-term dietary intake of gluten was not associated with risk of...
Ancient Egyptians, 10,000 years ago, Fwankie. They were dying of atherosclerosis, left, right, and center. They were like hugely overweight too. So try again.
Coronary heart disease. However, the avoidance of gluten may result in...
Oh, and look up Dr. Michael Eads, if you don't believe me.
Reduced consumption of
low carb down under. What is... Just search Michael Eads low carb down under. I forget the title of the video. If you'd like, I can link it for those who don't know the video. Okay?
beneficial whole grains, which may affect cardiovascular risk. So the idea that whole grains are heart healthy is actually from their liver detoxing capabilities. With all the time starch had modern diet and life, reduced consumption of beneficial whole grains, which may affect cardiovascular risk. So the idea that...
Oh, this is so stupid.
Whole grains are heart healthy is actually from their liver detoxing capabilities.
They don't do shite. They don't. What are they? What are they? Fiber, trace amounts of unabsorbable vitamins, and plant chemicals that can really mess your gut up. Yeah, okay, cool. But it's on a micro level, so it's fine.
With all the toxins and pollutants in modern diet and lifestyle, you need a lot of fiber and starch so the toxins, which are excreted by the
Oh, shut up.
liver, do not get reabsorbed. Patients in the study, which consumed less gluten, therefore less fiber and starch, had higher rates of heart disease.
Guess what else I'm sure they were eating? They didn't cut out the sugar. They didn't cut out the seed oils. Frank, F off.
This points to the likelihood of extreme liver toxicity in most people, which causes increased triglyceride circulation, especially
Shut the F up. You're so stupid.
those toxic omega-6 fatty acids. So the less fiber and starch you have, you're probably going to have more deposits of fatty acids. So the less, which causes increased triglyceride circulation, especially those toxic omega-6 fatty acids.
So you know that, yet they didn't account for that, I'm sure.
So the less fiber and starch you have, you're probably going to have more deposits of the omega-6, the inflammatory fats, in the arteries. Our final study is risk of obesity during a gluten-free diet in pediatric and adult patients with celiac disease. Most celiac patients had a normal BMI at presentation, although the mean BMI was significantly lower than that of controls.
Oh my God. Shut up.
So these celiac patients whose gut is already so damaged they cannot tolerate gluten and probably much other foods.
But guess what? If they can't tolerate other things, that they especially have to go carnivore. What the F, Frankie? What the actual F?
Have lower BMI. They weigh less than the average person. Theoretically, a healthier weight. Being skinny is healthy. But to me,
being in between is healthy. Okay? Not too skinny, not too fat. And fat being, it's hanging over your pants. Like, you have like several inches still sticking out. Like, you need to, like, you want that kind of, you don't need it completely flat, but you don't want to look all, you don't want to look bony, but you don't want to look too soft either.
a skinny person who can barely eat anything just means they have serious liver damage and
No! There is such thing as gut damage, but not from what you're saying, Fwankie.
serious gut microbiome imbalances.
It's not just from the gluten. It's not just from those chemicals that you're saying. Yes, they probably exacerbate them, but no! Frankie, you can shut up. You can shut all the way up. This isn't your job. The butcher doesn't come up to you saying, "Oh, you should only eat my meat because my meat's superior over to everybody else's." No, their job is to just sell you meat.
The damage was probably caused by all of the toxins in our
Probably. Shut up.
modern food and lifestyle that we've mentioned so many times in this video. So the goal here should not be to follow any sort of extreme diet. It should be to detox the body.
What you're doing is ridiculous. I want simplicity compared to you. You help me. You know what? You're inspiration to me, Fwankie. I might become a Frankie reaction channel primarily. You inspire me to stay on my journey, and in fact, out of spite, I'm going to go completely carnivore, cut all the carbs, prove you wrong. All the carbs. I'm going to stop drinking the cocoa today, and then once I'm out of kombucha, that's it. I'm going to do it out of spite. And just to prove a point. I'm going to cut it for a month. It's going to be hard because I love my kombucha. My mom makes it fresh. I'm not completely cutting out carbs. I still drink kombucha. I proved it to you, Fwankie, but I'll definitely cut it out of spite. I don't know if I'm ready yet. Especially the kombucha, because my kombucha is like, it's like, I only have 1 cup a day, okay? It's not like I have, bottles of it per day, right? I do drink a lot at times when I'm under a lot of stress, but I think I can do it. I did go 1 day without before. I've gone 5 days without before. I think I can get to a month.
From these chemicals and pollutants, go organic.
No yogurt either. No yogurt. Just meat, cheese, possibly, liver, butter. That'll be my diet. Maybe I won't do that. I don't know. I'm young. I can handle some carbs.
Of the toxins in our modern food damage and serious gut microbiome imbalances. The damage was probably caused by all of the toxins in our modern food and lifestyle that we've mentioned so many times in this video. So the goal here should not be to follow any sort of extreme diet. It should be to detox the body from these chemicals and pollutants, go organic, eat high quality foods.
Eat high quality foods. I'm not going to argue against that, but they don't mean plants. I mean the doctors will, but no. High quality means high nutrition. The plants you're pushing have none.
Balanced.
Proof? All those supplements. What did I do? What did I just do?
Ratios, and then
I think I hit something.
from these chemicals and pollutants, go organic, eat high quality foods, balanced ratios, and then replenish the gut microbiome with high quality probiotics. And I forgot to put
Your gut only needs probiotics if you've been on heavy courses of antibiotics for a long time and you've messed it up, and yeah, your gut needs that. Your gut needs, maybe you do need, but my gut actually regulated itself because for the most part, my gut was functioning normally on keto. It was only when the stress finally hit, I had really bad pains for a while. Plus, I was eating a whole heap load of fiber. So, no, I didn't need probiotics, Fwankie. I'm still here. I'm doing pretty good, actually. As good as I can. And I'm sure I can improve even more so.
The final piece of wheat on here. So, okay. My mediocre drawing skills, guys, it takes me forever to do these little things because I'm very unartistic. But you guys can go to frank-stefano.com if you'd like to support me through all of my businesses. Frankie's Free Range Meat, Frankie's Free Range Foods. We try to do high quality organic animal foods as well as snack foods, organ supplements.
What is
a lot of
free range foods? Free range? Does that mean they can like move around everywhere? Is that what that means? You see them one spot, boop, now they're in another. Is that what they grow like, Fwankie? How does that work? What is free range foods? Free range means they have room to roam around. What?
They're pretty relevant here for detoxing the body, whether it's magnesium, masticum, iodine. So much to read on those websites.
I'm not against iodine or magnesium, but I am against masticum. Don't take it.
Guys, even if you don't buy anything, if you go on there and read the product descriptions, you're probably going to learn quite a bit. So as usual, please drop a like on the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe.
Nope. I'm not going to listen to that. I can't. I'm going to look for that What I Eat in a Day video that he did. Again, I'm going to keep trying to look. It's going to take a bit probably, but I'll put this up in the meantime. I'm going to do 2 videos, like I said, just because I don't want... it's been... Like I missed yesterday, so I should give you 2 uploads. So, later, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And see you later. Oops. Sorry.